Hey everyone, hopefully you guys can hear me. We'll be live in just a sec over here on YouTube. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is having a wonderful Friday. Excellent. Okay, so hopefully no technical issues today. You never know with these, because we've got a pretty cool stream ahead, and we'll answer as many questions as we can, figures, and not just figures, but not just these figures, but um, you know, other stuff you guys want to ask about, we'll try our best to answer as well. The smooth criminal figure, I think we're still shipping out the pre-orders. If we have any stock remaining, there's a chance it will show up on our site, on the TikTok shop. Um, but for now, we don't have anything to share at the moment. Let's see. Can we get an exact height measurement? Yes, I can give you one for each. So Devastator clocks in at 24 to 25 centimeters. I think it's 24.5. And Dawnbreaker comes in at 18 centimeters. So these guys are still part of the slightly sized line, but they are fantastic figures, as you'll find out later as we take a closer look at them. The Robert Pattinson Batman, I assume you're referring to the INART action one. That's coming along very nicely. We just showed an updated version at our San Diego fan event. So I would say within the year, I can't make any more promises. Definitely in the very near future, you will be seeing him. And we've got some nice bonuses. Can't recall if we've shown the accessories, but we've just recently added some. So we're confident that it's going to be the best 6-inch scale there is for the Robert Pattinson Batman movie. So these two figures are currently slated for Q3 and Q4. I believe Devastator is slated for Q3. Dawnbreaker is scheduled for Q4. So it's going to be pretty soon. And as always, it could always be bumped up, right? Nice, pleasant surprise. Get your figures even sooner. Would you ever consider Berserk figures? I mean, we've got a lot of anime fans. So, we just showed Megalobox stuff at San Diego Comic Con. So, if by chance we do ever get that license, I think we'd love to take a stab at it. Are Michael Jackson figures in 1/12 scale possibility? No plans for that at the moment. Is there a chance to have? I assume you mean Marvel. Is it Marvel Comics? Not at the moment, but definitely possible down the line. Does Dawnbreaker come with accessories? Yes. We got some here. So we've got two constructs. Technically, the base is also construct, and then a few interchangeable hands. But the highlight really is this. Well, he's a little covered by the Devastator, but he's got a great, I think, my favorite diorama base of our releases thus far. So let's take a look. We'll take a look at it all over the next 2 hours. Yep, only Devastator and Dawnbreaker today. We do have two of our past releases or currently releasing figures. We've got these two guys here just for some comparisons, just to show, how they'll be, if you want to obviously display your Dark Knight's Metal figures together, let's see how they compare in terms of scaling and shelf presence. Thank you for the kind words, Omnibus. That's very, very kind of you to say. All right, so it is 7. I'll quickly go over the big details on these two figures, and then we'll take a look at the accessories. We'll take a look at some of the articulation. Trust me, it's going to be quite the challenge because this guy, he's got all of these tubes going along his body. Devastator's got all of these rock spikes. Yeah, it's gonna be tough on my hands. I'll say this much because these are rubbery, but they're still pretty spiky. Unfortunately, I don't have the Arkham Batman. I don't have the Absolute Batman. But whenever we do an Absolute Batman stream, I'll be sure to do that comparison for you. Right. So now that it's it's time for the stream to start, today we're going to be taking a look at the INART Action, Dark Knight's Metal, Batman the Devastator, and Batman the Dawnbreaker. So these are our third and fourth entries in the Dark Knight's Metal line. We previously did Red Death, Laughs. Those two were, reimaginings of the comics designs, and these two are very much in the same vein. It's a bit of an original take. We've incorporated a lot of unique design elements. Especially for Dawnbreaker, we've incorporated a very alien and very biopunk aesthetic. It's definitely something that we haven't really done before in this line, so it's going to be, something that I'm very much looking forward to showing off with and sharing with you guys later on in the stream. You can currently pre-order these on our website, global.inart.studio, if you are based in mainland China, Europe, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, Southeast Asia in general. I believe there are some issues with the Dawnbreaker one, but it should sort itself out probably in a few days. We just need to get some stuff on the back end figured out. But there shouldn't be any issues for for Devastator. You should be able to get him if you are in any of the regions just previously mentioned. You can choose to pay a deposit or pay in full. If you pay in full, you get priority in shipping. Release. Devastator is scheduled to release in Q3 of 2026, and Dawnbreaker is scheduled for Q4 of 2026. Yeah, Saudi Arabia should be. We should be able to do that. If you don't see that option, or if you're ordering from there, same as for Africa. Yeah, we can do West Africa. If you don't see, or if you're not able to add the item to your cart and you're in those regions, feel free to shoot us an email and we'll try our best to get you sorted. All right, so back to these figures. We'll go over a little bit of missing information. So if you take a look at our site listings, you'll notice that these do have early bird discounts. So basically that means if you pre-order it, you get a price guarantee at a lower price compared to when it comes back around in stock. I think someone's mentioned that you missed out on pre-ordering the Batman Who Laughs. He will come back in stock, but you won't have the early bird discount anymore. Devastator comes in at $92 at the early bird price. I think that's honestly quite a steal, especially, he's a huge piece of plastic. And Dawnbreaker comes in at $86. In stock, they will be a bit pricier. I believe in stock, Devastator will be $140, while Dawnbreaker will be $120-ish. So if you're interested in these figures, even though they will come back in stock later down the line, this is the best chance to get it at an unbeatable deal. You'll definitely want to pre-order yours as soon as you can. Unfortunately, we don't have the ability to sell these to the US at the moment. I know it's frustrating. you should still be able to find these on some certain reseller sites to make sure, do your due diligence, ask for feedback, and references before you make a purchase, because there's so many retailers out there and things can change so very suddenly, and we just want to make sure that you get your figures at the end of the day. Yes, unfortunately, it's the same for South America, but we love our South American fans. We love our North American fans. We, you guys mean the world to us, and we hope that one day we get to sell, awesome figures like these directly to you. The 1/12th Henry Cavill Superman is actually currently on display at China Joy in Shanghai. I think there are some pictures going around, so you can take a look at that. I think we're showing off some new accessories. Shouldn't be too far off now. I know I say that for a lot of figures, but yeah, it's definitely happening. I would say it's very close to pre-order at this point. So yeah, if you want, we should probably be sharing some pictures from China Joy probably next week or so. But the pictures are definitely already out there if you want to take a look. The Devastator jaw is not articulated. Though you do get an interchangeable faceplate. So I don't know if you can see it here. Hopefully you can see it on both sides. You got your closed mouth and you got your open mouth. Will there be an Arkham Origins Deathstroke? Yes, there will. Very soon. Very soon. So to reiterate, pre-order prices: Devastator 92, Dawnbreaker 86. For those who's joining in, welcome to the stream, and hope you guys are having a great Friday. Once we answer a few more questions, we'll dive into the accessories. Great Sage Armor 1/12, also soon, within the year. How about that? I can't give any more details than that, but it is coming along very nicely. It's got so many accessories. I'm very excited for that. You guys planning any female DC figures? Absolutely. Beyond the stuff that we've shown, I think we've shown the BVS Wonder Woman, and obviously we've got the Dark Knight Rises Catwoman. We've got some comic-inspired female characters coming along. Some from some very new comics. Definitely, if you're a fan of DC heroines, you'll be in for a good time. Yeah, the battle damaged Batman from Arkham Origins is shipping now. We actually just finished shipping the standard version, so hopefully it won't be that long until you get yours in hand. I mean, fingers crossed. A lot of stuff, you think it is a pipe dream, might be more likely than not. It'd be really cool either way. Purple suit Catwoman. Let me just write that down. I'll forward that along. Let's see if I mean, we do have another Catwoman. I don't think I'm at liberty to say what it is, but it's not this Catwoman. But yeah, that design was pretty cool. So I'll pass on that request. Jim Ballant. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. Uh, great. Yeah, would be pretty great. Valorant within the year? I'm not too sure. I don't think so. I think if it were within the year, it would be very late in the year. Bruce Lee will be pretty soon. Bruce Lee, I think, is definitely a 2026, at least a 2026 pre-order, if not a 2026 release. So you heard it here first. So if you mean like the aesthetic, or well, character selection wise, it was just they thought designers thought it was cool, so that's why they ended up doing it. In terms of the aesthetic, I'd say we just wanted to try a bit of everything. So we've got these kind of more stylized figures. We've got the more comic accurate figures, some of which we've shown. You know, it just comes down to experimentation and trying to figure out like what fans want, what collectors want. and you know, and once we kind of are able to get that feedback, we can decide for future releases. Will there be other DC heroes and villains? Yeah, absolutely. We're definitely committed to diving deep into the DC universe for sure. And yeah, Nightfall, it goes without saying, you could do Batman, you could do Azrael, you could do Bane. There's a lot of great designs and characters you could do from that storyline. And funnily enough, I think we just bought some Nightfall comics for the office. I can't recall specifically, but yeah. What's the scale of these figures? So, Devastator is around 24 centimeters, and Dawnbreaker is around 18. So that's, I believe, 9 inches and 7 inches tall. Do I have a Red Death? I do have a Red Death. He's right here. He's taking a knee, but he'll come around for some size comparisons later down the line. Will you guys be doing the Drowned, Merciless Murder Machine, or the Grim Knight? I think it'd be a shame if we didn't, is all I'm going to say. But, I think it's important. I think the team, the designers, we all think it's important that we do complete the lineup. So it may be a bit of a, further, longer wait because these were some of our earliest figures that we did or started designing and production on. But I think it is a dream for all of us over here at INART that we do finish this lineup. We don't have any plans to reissue any of our figures at the moment. All right, so let's take a look at some accessories. Enough waiting. I'll still keep an eye on some of the questions. If I miss them, or ask them again, because I mean, I can't. Sometimes things do slip through, and I do want to get you guys your answers. DVS will be true 1/12. Yeah. Oh, it's our pleasure. I think 1/12 collectors have really been very gracious and kind. We've had some missteps, but you guys have been very understanding and very patient. So we're happy to be here, and hope we're here to stay for a very long time. All right, so let's start off. Let's start off with Devastator because he is front and center. We'll move Dawnbreaker off to the side so I don't knock over. So accessory wise, pull him off the stand first. And with the stand, you may already have noticed that there is something special or different about it. Let's see. So this is an extra big grip for the figure stand. It is still the same circular stand. But it's a very good footprint, so that even for a big figure like Devastator, he is able to fit on there. But this clamp is, I think, the first time we've done an extra big clamp. I thought it's pretty interesting getting out of the box. But enough about that. We've also got a diorama piece. So, the Dark Knight's Metal line, we've been doing some small diorama tidbits. Something up on here. This will, yeah, you can see it better here. All right, so this is another addition in our kind of diorama effects that we've been doing. With the Batman Who Laughs, we did the purple smoke. With the Red Death, we did the speed and speed force and bats. With Devastator, we're doing a bit of rubble. Very much matches his own design, and it's got a very nice weathering to it. It's pretty versatile. You can fit it into the display wherever you want, and you can also fit it on the base wall. You've got the figure on it, so it's kind of a good size, but it's also very modular. I'll pop the head off so that you can see both of the heads. It's going to be tough. But oh no. There we go. 1 second as I put this back. All right, so for Devastator accessories, we'll start with the 2 head sculpts. So you've got first one. Oh shoot! Let me make sure you guys are getting a nice focused image. It's focusing. Not certain. TikTok guys. Hopefully you can see it as well. So we've got the 2 head sculpts. We've got the standard closed mouth one, and a roaring one. Interchangeable. The jaw isn't articulated, unfortunately, but I think you'll still have plenty of display possibilities with these 2 head sculpts. Yeah, I think in terms of character diversity, it's something that, there are different opinions, I think, on the team as to how to go about doing that. I'm definitely more of a, do everyone do, the question, do Black Canary, do Hawk Girl type of guy. But, keep on letting that feedback be known. If you guys want to see, characters beyond the Trinity, sure, if you guys leave more comments and stuff, it does help that argument carry a bit more persuasion. We'll show the articulation in just a bit once we go through all the accessories. So we've got a kryptonite blade. So this is, I believe, this is glow into the dark paint. I can't turn off the lights here, all the lights here to show it, but in the dark, it's going to glow. It's got a great kind of really scary and spooky effect to it. I don't believe it's something we've done before. It is made of a slightly pliable plastic, so you don't have to worry about it breaking. But yeah, so this is the interchangeable kryptonite blade. So you've got your usual selection of fists. You've got a left fist and a right fist. And then you've got a spiked right fist, as well as 2 open grabbing hands. Both sides. This one is spiked. I'll put the hands back on him, and then we'll go through the articulation. And then after we're done with Devastator, we'll take a look at Dawnbreaker. I can't say. It's a glow. I would say it's an okay amount. So more on the vibrant side. It's not going to be blindingly bright. So this articulation segment is going to be pretty fun. Well, it's going to be challenging because this guy's huge. But there's a lot of very neat design tricks. I'm sure if you had a chance to handle an INART figure, you'll know that designers do love very carefully and meticulously engineering pieces to make our trademark articulation seamless, but as unhindered as possible. There's going to be a lot of discovery going on in this process. So let me just get everything straightened out and start. Yes, there is a loose piece. So this is a cover so that you don't have a big gap neck. when you're articulating it. You saw just now I did drop it a few times. It just rests between the neck and the head. There's a term in Chinese for it, but essentially it just tries, it's there to make it look more seamless. But yeah, so start with the articulation, shall we? Let's get this big guy articulated for the YouTube people. I will zoom in a bit. Let's see. All right, I think that's okay. All right. So for the head, can look up. This will be the head plus neck because it's kind of difficult to just articulate one side, but he can definitely look up. Or and look down, bury his head in, his chin all the way. Look at that. Can look side to side. It's meant as shown previously. It's got plenty of pivot and tilt. Okay, so this was quite the challenge for me even when I started handling the figure, because there are lots of attached overlay pieces here for the shoulders to make it kind of seamless. I'll try my best to show it, but it really is something that is best experienced in hand. The words can only go so far to describe it. But let me just bring up the arm. So you can bring up the arm this much, this far. You can see the other side, this is straight down, and this is almost 90. Most of these pieces will get out of the way. You can actually see there's a little bit of a, there's a lot of give inside, a lot of cut, very clever cuts to make sure you can really bring the arm up as much as you can. And then you've got your standard bicep swivel. Double jointed elbow goes all the way. Right? You've got the swivel hinge swivel at the wrist. There it is. So you can readjust the swivel to be in whatever direction you want. I believe it's a double ball peg for those that are curious, from the arm into the torso. I can't see it that clearly. I do believe that is, I think that's on the inside. Stupid ab crunch, and I love this because a lot of figures, they can't really crunch well. You crunch forward this far, and then he can crunch back all the way. I think I need to realign his torso before I do that. Look at that. Crunch back. He's got the rotation side to side. He's got the tilt. That should be a double ball peg from top to the middle, and then I believe another one from the middle to the crotch. And then you've got a few overlay pieces. Is this open for pre-order? Yes, you can currently pre-order this figure and Dawnbreaker here at global.inart.studio. And yes, this Devastator is Batman injected with the Doomsday virus. There's actually a bit of storytelling in this figure. We'll go over that in just a little bit once we finish up with the articulation. Yeah, so you can also do the swivel waist. Yeah, this guy is going to be quite the workout to pose, I gotta say. He's a big, big fella. Legs can go out 90. There's a thigh swivel. A double jointed knee that goes this far. And it's a swivel hinge swivel on the ankle, so you get a lot of freedom in how you want to do it. So you can rotate it, you can pivot it, of course you can hinge it. You've got the toe hinge that can go up as far. Ooh, okay. So some cool bits of detail on this figure. So first of all, I mean, you've got a lot of the armor from the bat suit. You know, you've got the remnants, the utility belt. You've got, you know, the chest armor. It's scattered all over. So you know, it's unmistakably Batman, or used to be Batman. And you'll notice that one spot doesn't really have it, and it's his arm over here. And that is because of you know, the fact that in the comic, Batman does lose his arm. He regenerates it. You know, Superman chops off his arm, and when Batman mutates into the Devastator, he grows his arm back. So that's why this side in particular does not actually have the armor plating. So that's kind of a fun bit of detail. Set him aside first. Give Dawnbreaker a little bit of time. Well, since we have been taking a look at Devastator for a bit now, standing well. Sure everything is going okay on the stream. Not missing anything. Okay. Looks like all is well, which is good. Accessories aside. We'll look at Dawnbreaker. Dawnbreaker comes with a few more sets of hands, as well as 2 constructs and 1 construct themed base. It's attached here so you can see. Right. And let's zoom back out for the YouTube guys. Just a moment. Do a little bit of the rotation for Dawnbreaker, actually. We didn't get to do it for Devastator just now. Yeah, there we go. Nice 360-degree showcase of all of these incredible details. So Dawnbreaker does come with 3 sets of hands. You have the clawed gesturing hands, you have a kind of a saluting gesture hand, and you've got the fists. But the highlights really are, say, the constructs. You'll probably notice that we've got 2 different types of stands. So this one's actually made of 2 smaller stands. There's so many pieces here. So this one, you've got a stand that you can adjust the angle and orientation of. Sorry. And then you have 3 poles of different heights. So you've got the short one, the medium length, and then the long one. So that, you know, you don't have to worry once you've got Dawnbreaker on his flight stand. No matter what height he's at, you're still going to be able to show the constructs as if they were coming out of his ring. Power ring. Yeah, so the hands aren't as exciting for Dawnbreaker, unfortunately. There is a lot of great detail in his costume. We'll go over. Honestly, it is so very interesting. Like, I think this is also the first figure we have that really has so many translucent parts, and you know, with the you know, with the tubes as well. It's definitely a very unique piece that I think will stand out in any collection for sure. An important thing to note, though, the Dawnbreaker head is not removable because you'll see the tubes are connected to the body itself. So do not attempt to do it, because you might end up like really damaging the figure if you do so. Though the tubes themselves are made of pliable material, so they should be fairly durable. But that being said, still handle with care. Um, you know, these are, at the end of the day, collectible figures, or collectible action figures, I guess you could say. So treat them with care. Because this one especially may be a little bit on the more fragile side. Yeah, let's take a closer look at some of his constructs, and then take a closer look at the figure itself and the articulation. We'll pull him off of the construct team first. There you go. There. This one's a mass of tentacles. Very very neon, say. But as are all Green Lantern constructs. It makes for a great display piece, and this is you won't be getting the standard circular base, but as you probably saw, it still comes with a port for you to take it into, so you can fly on top of it. Is the construct rubber? I'm not sure. It's a fairly sturdy, fairly rigid material. There's not too much give to it. Is all I can say. So probably maybe like soft plastic. Yeah, I'm not 100% on these. Then you've got the two other constructs, bat themed constructs. This one's pretty obviously, you can see here. So these do come with their individual grabbers. So this one specifically, specifically for each construct, be the small. In the instructions, I believe the label is small and large constructs. Make sure you've got the right one and follow the instructions of where to clip it on so that it's best supported. Because see, once it's attached, it's pretty sturdy. Shake it around, it's not going to fall over or fall off. Right. So let's take a look at the articulation of this guy. I'm going to be very careful because this is earlier sample. The last thing I want to do is break it. See to make sure I'm not missing any comments. I think we're good so far. So, all right, let's do the articulation. So the head and neck are both separate pieces from the body. Let me look up as far. For the YouTube guys, we'll zoom in a little bit. Let's get some exclusive angles. Sorry, TikTok friends. Unfortunately, we can only do it from one side. But yeah, he can look up. He can look down. His head and his chin. He can look side, side. No problem. Yeah. His arms can go out to 90. No problem either. Arm forward. Oh, I think I didn't do that for Devastator. We'll do it again. We'll do it later. Do note that these pieces are overlays, so they can't get out of the way. A little tricky, I guess. Is Dawnbreaker the same size as Arkham Origins Batman? I think so. They should be roughly around the same height. I don't have him with me right now, unfortunately. Maybe check back tomorrow. Maybe I'll have him tomorrow for some comparisons. But actually, I'll bring Batman Who Laughs over a comparison before we go on with the articulation. Yeah. So yeah, rough. He is a little hunched over, actually. So let me just straighten him. Or do that comparison. So yeah. Hopefully this helps. Because I think at some point we did do a comparison between Batman Who Laughs and Arkham. Back to the articulation, he's got the bicep swivel. Remember, well, actually, it should be fine because the gauntlet form also has a different swivel. But he's got a double jointed elbow. Will get you this far. He's got the forearm swivel, as mentioned, and then I believe a swivel hinge swivel on the wrist so you can orient the fist, no matter how, no matter what direction you want it to go in. Same kind of situation with the torso, double ball peg, so he can punch forward, back. He can rotate side to side. He can do nice tilt. And yeah, so the crotch piece should also be another floating piece. So you want to be careful with that. There's also a tube going from the belt into his abdomen. So be careful with that. And then you got the back tubes as well. Just be very careful. Is all I can say. Thank you for the kind words, FitzTube. Hope you're enjoying the stream so far. I'm glad you could stop by. And yeah, Kaiju Daddy, yeah, this is he's got quite the face, this guy. Not winning any yeah. Kind of funny because Bruce Wayne is considered pretty good looking, and this guy's just he does not have that he does not have that kind of good look with him. Yeah, so the Dawnbreaker is a redesign. It's our original take of the Dawnbreaker design, which kind of goes along the rest of the Dark Knight's Metal line, which is all kind of our take on the characters. I'll bring the figure closer because I'm for TikTok. There you go. Here is a closer look at the face. Let's see. For YouTube guys. Here. I mean, you guys get the nice zoomed in look. It's down, unfortunately. So there we go. Now both of you guys can see it. Yeah, there's a lot of detail in the sculpt, honestly. I think that's one thing that always surprises me, is just finding new details in the sculpt whenever I'm messing around with these figures. That's a great question. Why is his face? Well, you'll have to read the comics to find out. So back to the articulation for everyone to see it. Yeah, so because of the tubes, there's only one head because you'll notice that the head have tubes that attach into the actually the side of the chest. It's the shoulder armor overlay. So we would not recommend removing those. These are not glow in the dark as far as I'm aware. Do you guys ship to the UK? Yes. These figures should all, if you're in the UK, you should be able to buy directly from us at global.inart.studio. Okay, so going back to the articulation. Let me just make sure. See, he can't kick forward this far. So almost 90. Don't believe that's it. Nope, there it is. He's got the thigh swivel. He's got the double jointed knee. Kicks all the way up to his own butt. Then I believe a ball, it should be a double ball joint, actually. Check. Yeah, it is a double ball peg. So you can get an extended tilt. You can also do up, down, and rotate side to side. It should be a double ball peg from shin into the foot. And to just quickly demonstrate how the construct stand works, do a little bit of posing. Sorry if I sound a little bit under the weather. You guys, if any of you were at STCC, you probably caught me at the INART booth. I was there. It was, it was awesome seeing everyone, but I still recovering from it, unfortunately. So we'll use both of these stands just so that we can get a better look at how the included construct stands work. Will they have battle damage versions? I would say there are no plans for battle damage versions of Dawnbreaker and Devastator at the moment. Their Devastator particularly is already pretty beat up. Absolute Batman, I'm not sure. I think that figure is still pretty early in the design process, so I can't say for certain. So, this is how I can display these so that it looks like the construct is coming from Dawnbreaker's power. Just make sure I've got it lined up properly. Oh, only this piece is the glow in the dark piece for Devastator, the Kryptonite Blade. Dawnbreaker does not have glow in the dark effects, as far as I recall. But you just need to shine a UV light on it. Glowing effect. If you've got a family traveling to China, you can ask them to pick up some of these awesome. Well, yeah, pick up some of these awesome figures if they are released by then. Let's make sure it's lined up. There we go. Okay, well, I just realized the angle doesn't really work for either of you guys, so I'm gonna have to that. Hopefully you can see it here. You guys on TikTok, you can see it also. Yeah, I'll zoom in. Yeah, I'll zoom in a little bit. I'll readjust the frame. Sorry, TikTok guys. But hopefully you can still see some of it. The Black Myth Wukong. If you're talking about the fourth sister, I believe it's. You're testing me. Let me check as well. So I'm not 100%. But I do believe it's Q4 this year, at least for fourth sister. I assume you mean the INART action one, right? Juan? It might be Q3 actually. It's either Q3 or Q4. Yeah, YouTube guys, hopefully you can see it. TikTok guys, hopefully you can see it as well. So this is essentially how it's supposed to work, is that you're able to adjust the height on the construct stand, so that no matter what poses Dawnbreaker is doing, you can still make it so that his construct is coming from his power ring, as it should, because well, that's how Green Lanterns work. Yeah, we'll do some flight poses with him as well. For those who are curious, I guess we can do the other smaller construct. Let me pull that video up real quick then, just so that I want to make sure I'm not giving you wrong intel. So, not told about that. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'll be damned. I guess it must have slipped my mind, but yeah, it looks like it should be the same then. Um, Thanks for the heads up, Janvier. Looks like the tubes and some of the translucent bits it should be the same type of UV light then. If you shine a UV light on it, it will glow in the dark. So there you go. Joey, could you send us an email? You should be able to get these if you're in Korea, or double check if you've got like a VPN or something. That might that might affect your ability to buy, because I think we do detect there is some like issues with VPNs and stuff. Yeah, so it looks like it should be all of the green, specifically neon green bits should light up. So should the piping. Right. Oh, stream back to the stream. First INART 2025 Superman. Congratulations! I still haven't gotten mine yet, and I work for INART, so you know. I'm so jealous of you guys. But hopefully mine will arrive sometime soon. Because I can't wait for that figure as well. Yeah, you shouldn't need to use a VPN, Joey. Like, did you try like with or without? And yeah, so this is another. Oh god, the angle's a little funky. Yeah, construct. Here is another for that. Let's see. Any more plans to do Absolute Universe stuff? Yeah. We definitely we're far from done with the Absolute Universe. I think there's a lot to explore in that world. There'll be more to come for sure. Yeah, please send us an email, Joey. Well, we'll get you sorted. Sorry for the trouble. Any villains? Any villains that you'll do? Yeah, absolutely. Lots of comic book villains in the DC universe. Oh, well, hmm, that's strange. I guess. Wait, Joey, were you talking about Dawnbreaker specifically, or both Dawnbreaker and Devastator? Because I do believe I did see. Did you say was it for both? Because I was only aware of some issues with Dawnbreaker. I wasn't aware of for Devastator. But either way, we'll flag this and we'll look into it. You can still send us an email, and we'll see if we can get you sorted on that. And yeah, definitely we're down to do a lot of villains. Movie wise, we've shown Bane, Joker, Two Face. Comic wise, there's plenty of characters we'd love to do as well. Okay, both Dawnbreaker and Devastator. Um, Yeah, we'll have to look into that because I believe. Let me see. Yeah, it should work for Devastator, but yeah, that is definitely strange because we do have that listed on the mhm. Oh well, yeah, we do have that listed on the site. But thanks for bringing that to our attention. Hopefully, we'll get this fixed or looked into as soon as we can. Not sure, quite sure what you mean by Andrew Superman. No plans for a Batmobile at the moment. Though, definitely plans to continue this lineup of Dark Knight's metal characters. We do want to finish the Dark Knights for sure. Yes. Um, those two would be in, I think, in theory, right, on a hypothetical complete lineup, those two would be, Merciless, I think, is one I'm looking forward to particularly. Um, can't say much more than that. Okay, so let's I don't know, I guess we should do some poses since we've kind of gone through, I think we've gone through both figures. Actually, we'll do a group shot with everyone first before we do some posing. No plans for Daring Corn Sweat Superman at the moment. Scale. Absolute Batman is he's kind of like an in between because we didn't want to make him so short to the point where he'd be like just barely taller than Batman Who Laughs. The Alex Ross guys will be like 6.5 inch scale, so your traditional kind of American 6 inch scale. Uh, no, unfortunately, the head and faceplate are both one piece, Forge Masters, so you won't be able to swap them. But yeah, Wampa. So, Absolute Batman will be a little bit big, but that is intentional so that he doesn't. There was actually a discussion we had, I think, a few months back. We didn't want to make it so that you know, for folks who had bought into the Dark Knight's metal line, we wanted our Absolute Batman to still plausibly fit with that kind of collection. So we've chosen a size that I think best um, to kind of straddle both the original kind of oversized scale and the new scale as best as possible. Oh no, the stand came off. New 52 Red Hood would be a very cool figure to do, for sure. Accessories out of the way. Absolute Catwoman would be absolutely awesome, wouldn't it? Superman. Um, I'm not sure what you mean. I don't think Andrew Garfield. I love Andrew Garfield, but I don't think he played Superman. Too early to say on the Absolute Batman accessories. Unfortunately, you'll have to check back in later. Oh, right. So for the got to show this particular piece of articulation for Devastator. Over. Bring arm forward. Over like this. So there we go. Yeah. So it's basically unhindered. I'm gonna zoom out on the YouTube side so that you guys can actually see. So glow in the darker lineup. Yes, glow in the dark for the tubes and some of the transparent armor plates for Dawnbreaker and the Kryptonite blade. This piece for Devastator. Get these guys posed up in a group shot, and then you can see what the scaling is like across these figures. I think, especially with Devastator being huge, Dawnbreaker having a flight stand, it really brings in a lot of variety to the Dark Knight's Metal collection that we've got going on. I gotta make sure the TikTok folks can see it too. Hold on, let me look back up and see what you said earlier. We have done the David Cornsweet Superman in 6 scale, but we don't have plans at the moment to do him in the INART action line. All right, here we go. So yeah, here is a little bit of a lineup. The everyone. Kind of a for big to small. But these are our Dark Knight's Metal releases so far. Dawnbreaker and Devastator currently available for pre-order, and what's that? Sorry. Dawnbreaker and Devastator currently available for pre-order, and Batman Who Laughs and Red Death currently shipping. Conga line of evil Batman, yes, absolutely. Yeah, RoboCop would be fun. I think just mechs and robots in general would be pretty cool to do. Will we get figures like the Green Lantern Corps, Superman villains? Yeah. I think well, I can't go into specifics, but certainly I think those are possibilities that we could do down the line. We showed Steel from Reign of the Superman. We do plan on going deep into that line. Lots of characters show up in that particular storyline, but I think one that's pretty pretty obvious pick would be Lex Luthor. I think it'd be fun to do him in the INART action series. Any plans for Grim Knight? Well, I think it would be great if we did him. I wouldn't be surprised if he showed up in the line in the not too distant future. Well, they shouldn't be missing for too long. We'd like to get those to the line sooner than later. Injustice is definitely something that we've talked about doing. So keep your eyes peeled. Thanks for the kind words, Neon Wolf. Means a lot to hear that. Any plans for Hush? Not at the moment. Would be very cool to see that diorama. Argentina. Dark Father. Ooh, Dark Father. Okay. Dark Father. I don't remember seeing anything. He would be cool and do. But for now, I think just Just who are the other two? Merciless and Drowned, I think, are the ones that I remember. We plans and we would love to do Metal Gear, but nothing concrete at the moment for that. All right, so let's do some poses for these guys. Just reached the 1 hour mark. A little bit more water. Word of advice: don't do a lot of shout talking on Comic Con because turns out it's not good for your throat. White Knight Batman, yeah, I think we showed him not too long ago. He's coming along nicely. In the U.S., you'll have to get them through resellers. I'm sure some of the wonderful folks in the chat can probably give a little bit of insight on that, because there are so many of them, and it's situations always changing. We can't speak specifically to specific stores, but make sure ask around, before making any purchases, so that you make sure you're buying from a reputable store. How many 1/12 do you plan on releasing in a year? The plans in reality end up being two different things, I would say. We all, everyone's got like lofty plans, but I would say probably in the maybe in the further future, we would try for maybe a few releases a month, so maybe like 2 or 3 releases a month. Next figure or brand? We should be doing Wukong or Bruce Lee next in terms of pre-orders. In terms of stuff we haven't shown, I can't speak to that. I'd be spoiling the surprise. Plenty of interest in doing Marvel. Whether or not we can get Marvel, different story. Heat action figures priority posing. Yeah, we actually bought a hair dryer for Comic Con. Funny story. So let's make sure you don't leave it in the hot water or hot temperatures for too long, otherwise you might warp it. But also, I think generally speaking, the tolerances on our figures are good enough that you shouldn't have to do that for our figures. I know because I've bought plenty of figures that do freeze up, and as a collector myself, it's like I've done the hot water trick a fair few times. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't come to that for INART figures. Bring these two guys a little bit more front and center, since they are highlights of the stream. I feel you on the wallet. I'm very glad that they do send me the stuff on the house, because I would also be very poor. I had to buy everything. How much of it comes from us versus the license holder? Not that involved in that process, but I do believe it just comes so. As far as my conversations with designers have gone, it just comes down to what we want to do. It doesn't feel like Warner Brothers has specifically said, "Hey, you have to do this," which is cool because they've been very collaborative and very wonderful to work with. Obviously without them, we wouldn't get to do these figures to begin with. Chris Reeve in 1/12, more likely than you may think. 7-inch scale, yes, I believe so. There shouldn't be any other figures left that are in this scale. I'm trying to think. No, yeah, I think it should just be Arkham Origins and Dark Knight's Metal. Maybe Absolute Batman. But that should be. But Absolute Batman should be like an in between, like the 7-inch and the 6.5. more Wukong goodness coming along. Next up should be the Great Sage Armor set. I had a chance to handle our copy of it at San Diego Comic Con. It's a fantastic piece. It's got great soft goods and everything. Hi, is that Zynga? Welcome to the stream, Zynga. Glad to have you here. Punchline. Oh, don't expect. I'm not gonna be cruel, but I would say unlikely. I don't think that's a character that we have. I think we would do someone like Harley first before doing Punchline. Thank you for the kind words, Omnibus. That's awesome to hear. Well, in the meantime, let me see if I can finagle with the stands to get the effect part to go up higher. Yes. Let's see. Reign of the Superman is probably the next likely Superman. Um, I don't have any more specific information. I would say it wouldn't be a shock if Regeneration Suit Superman ended up being something that we show in the near future. Is this tall? It is not tall enough. Oh, shucks. Yeah, I mean, we all love Scott Snyder. I think we're all big fans here. It'd be awesome to do more of his stuff. Murder Machine, more likely than you may think. Valorant figures probably 2027 at this point. I don't think they'll make it this year. They're still pretty early on in the process or the development process. Absolute Batman, not this stream. Check back later. But soon, hopefully. Actually, it won't be that soon. I know that much. There's still a lot of work to be done on Absolute Batman, but he does look fantastic, and I would love to be able to show him off sometime soon. So, yep, Murder Machine as well. What are our chances of seeing her produce? She's not on the list for near future, but I think she's a character that all right, we do want to do. It's just a matter of finding, I think, a good place for her in the line. Thank you for the kind words, Alex. Um, welcome to the stream. And yeah, sorry, my voice it's not quite here yet, not quite back yet. I still have one more stream tomorrow, so that's gonna be tough on me. But I'm here for you guys. I'll try and answer as much as I can. Welcome to the stream, Forja. Welcome. A Justice Buster would be incredible. You don't hear me disagreeing. I think, considering how Devastator turned out, I think the Justice Buster would just be a phenomenal piece. Well, the one that you're currently seeing out there is not our. So I think think we should probably do an absolute Catwoman, yeah. All right, because we've just passed the hour mark, I'm going to recap everything, and you guys come up with more questions. And we'll go over probably everything one more time, if time allows. Well, actually, we'll show the boxes in a little bit after I talk about this stuff. But yeah, so this stream has been showcasing the INART Action Dark Knight's Metal, Batman the Devastator, and Batman the Dawnbreaker. So Batman crossed with Doomsday and Batman crossed with Green Lantern. These two figures are currently available for pre-order on our website. They are available in mainland China, Australia, New Zealand, Europe, Middle East, Africa, and Southeast Asia. Though I do believe there are some issues with Dawnbreaker that should be sorted out shortly. Devastator is due to ship in Q3 of 2026, and Dawnbreaker is due to ship out in Q4. If you pre-order now, you get an exclusive early bird discount with Devastator coming in at only $92 and Dawnbreaker at $86, whereas in stock, Devastator will be $141 and $125. If you pay in full, you'll get priority and in shipment. And do note that there is a non-refundable deposit of I think $22 or $23 when you place your pre-order. Please keep that in mind when making a purchase. The Devastator comes with 2 interchangeable heads, one neutral and one angry head, as well as 5 different hands. A kryptonite blade and a piece of a nice diorama piece here. Dawnbreaker comes with 2 different construct effect pieces, 6 interchangeable hands, and a very cool construct tentacle base. Ooh, Batman versus Predator is pretty deep. We are doing armored Batmans, but it's not that one, unfortunately. Would be, man, doing Predator would be pretty cool. Not gonna lie. How long ago was that actually? Batman versus Predator. I think. I swear someone did that armored Batman. It would be cool for us to tackle, but it's possible, but it's not something that I think we have in the plans at the moment. Thanks for the kind words, Alex. But I'm still recovering from Comic-Con, and I did not have a single day off. So, be careful what you wish for. Yeah, Wampa is basically got it right there. At least so far. Things could change down the line, but at the moment, that's where he is. 2022 Batman within the year. Yeah, and that's exactly what we were thinking of. Arios. We didn't want Absolute Batman to just be the same height as the kind of oversized figures, so that was kind of a difficult decision to make. Favorite part of Comic Con? Um, I mean, I didn't have a lot of time to look at the show floor, but seeing all of the different figure companies and talking to some of the designers, I think was my highlight. It was a great experience just talking to designers, from some of the brands that I worked on, and there may be some collabs coming in the near future. You never know, but it was a great chance to network, I would say. Well, the reign of the Superman figures. I think we haven't decided on that yet. But yeah, Steel is obviously a stylized different one. It should be in the 6.5 inch range. So smaller than Dark Knight's Metal, bigger than live action. Yeah. Thank you, Neon Wolf. That's very reassuring here, because I found out about in the stream, like having to do it like 2 days ago. I was like, my voice is not back yet. But yeah, going back to the scaling thing, yeah, we didn't want Absolute Batman to just be like roughly the same height, or just or even shorter than like Batman Who Laughs or Arkham Origin Batman. So that's why we decided. And yeah, always happy to answer as many questions as I can. That's why I'm here. All right, so let's show some boxes. Now we haven't done that yet. These boxes are huge. I swear to God. If they didn't give me a place to specifically store these boxes, I don't know how I'd fit them. But first, we've got, oh no, the light's reflecting on it. We've got Dawnbreaker's box. Huge box. Very cool artwork. You've got Batman the Dawnbreaker, Queen Studios, and INART Action. I think the legalese at the bottom. Bigger number. There's the legalese on the back. Now there's some warnings on the bottom and legalese on the back. We'll be doing Dark Knight Returns, Superman, and Joker. Yeah, I think we do that, since we did show the Batman, and we do want to have figures to go with him. Thank you, Angry Hermit. That's good to hear. No, Clover, this is an advanced preview, but they will be releasing in Q3, Q4 of 2026. A little bit brain's not working, not quite 100% there. It's evening. It's a Friday evening, so I don't know. My mind is running a mile an hour. But this box is just incredible. This is like mind blowing stuff, man. Be careful with your boxes. I am not careful with mine. This rip was, it came in a protective shipper and everything. I was just not as careful with it, but I did still want to show you this, because this box art is super badass. Got your usual logos, number, packaging. Yeah, great art box. If you obviously, there's no window in this packaging, but something honestly, like if you're the type of person who displays this your boxes, this is a great piece. Yeah. When do pre-orders go up? They should be up now. So for Dawnbreaker, I know there are some issues. I think maybe some licensing stuff hasn't gone through yet, so it's a little bit more limited in the regions. But I do believe for Devastator, you should be able to pre-order them. I mean, I guess it also depends on which region you are in, because if you're in North America or Latin America, we unfortunately can't sell directly to those places, so you'll need to get your figures through a reseller. Or buying from a reseller, make sure you ask around for for feedback and everything, and just to ask around the community, make sure you're buying from someone that's reputable, and yeah, so that you make sure you get your figure, and your hard-earned money is well spent. All right, so boxes are done for. Let's see. Have I missed any questions? Yeah, so far so good. Is that an illustration of the photo on the box? It is. It is a photo on the box. Photoshop stuff for the lining, but it is legitimately is the figure. I'm gonna check real quick to make sure I didn't miss any. Let's see. Okay. miss any on the TikTok side. Sorry, TikTok people. The phone is a little bit further away than I'd like, so that's why, you know, can't. Sometimes I can't quite see the text on it. Also, I didn't put on my right the last night, so that's why I've got the glasses on. And we have the drown and murder next. Of course, of course. Why? Of course you can, but you'll have to wait. Maybe you're gonna wait for a little bit. Ra's al Ghul. Uh, there is hope for a Ra's al Ghul. Is it the Arkham Ra's al Ghul? That I cannot say. Well, plenty of. He shows up quite a few times throughout Batman mythos. But we're definitely not done with Arkham. So it's it would be cool if we did do an Arkham Ra's al Ghul. Move stuff back up here so that got the subject matter stream properly represented. Yeah, it's oh, okay. Let's see. Yeah, the drown. Oh, I actually saw some. Okay. Might as well cats out of the bag type of thing. I saw some concepts for her. Um, it's gonna be a beautiful piece. I think it's a figure that I'm definitely looking forward to myself. Okay. So let's see. Rebirth Batman would be pretty cool to see. Batman the Animated Series, dude, the DCAU stuff we had talked about, I think it's unlikely just because there's not really an easy way to do like our style of articulation without really just cutting into the silhouettes of because the DCAU has such a distinct art style, and we don't want to make it so that you know um, it gets all hacked to pieces. The silhouettes of characters in the DCAU are so iconic. We want to be very careful with that, and so it's unfortunately it's a little bit unlikely at the moment. I would say that we do BS stuff. Green Lantern Blackest Nights. No plans for that at the moment, but I think I would personally love to see it. Azrael. Might not be Arkham. I think it might be White Knight if we do it because I think another company did show an Azrael fairly recently. The scale of future comic book, they will be a bit smaller. I would say they could still fit them in. Um, they will be a little bit shorter and hew closer to I think what is expected of like a 6-inch scale. While I'm answering questions, I will make both of these guys spin around so you guys can have a little bit of a good look at all the detail. No plans for clothed DC figures at the moment. Yeah, I can show the shoulder pads for Devastator in just a bit. For the Trinity, not that I'm aware of. You never know. But yeah, clothed 112 figures. I think aside from like the odd exception, like Bruce Lee, there are no plans for that at the moment. Giroux, yes, we would love to complete this lineup. And for the Great Sage Wukong, maybe Q4 this year, maybe Q1 of 27. I'm not sure, but it is probably pretty well, not super close, but see a falling over here. Stand up. Let's put these guys up so that Shoot. Yeah. So aside from the odd, I think it would be on a case by case basis for soft goods. And yeah, it wouldn't like by default. It would still be sculpted, jointed figures. Where can we get those turntables? That's a great question. I don't know. I don't know. They just gave these to me for the stream, so that's about it. I think so. I think death metal is something we're considering though. Zach, for the height, Devastator comes in around 25 centimeters. Dawnbreaker comes in around 18 centimeters. Hopefully that answers your question. Yeah, so let's show let's take a look at the shoulder pads. Absolute Hawkman. Well, we'll do the I don't know. Absolute Hawkman. I think if we continued into the Absolute universe, we'd do the Trinity first, and then we'd go from there. Yeah. So the shoulder pads. Okay. We'll zoom in a little bit. Make sure I'm not missing. Hopefully, I'm not missing anything from the TikTok side. If I did miss a message from y'all, feel free to send it again so that I can see it. But and it's out. There we go. That's exactly where it needs to be. So this whole assembly, this is a floating assembly. So I can't see specifically into how it is, but I'd assume there's a ball peg in the shoulder that goes into, it's a double ball peg that goes into the chest, and then this is just a cap that goes over it. But this piece in the front, I know is attached by a double ball peg, so this front piece is a separate piece. These two pieces are separate, so that you can rotate this independently. I don't know if I'm showing it very well. So arm down. But yeah, you can hopefully see this articulates independently, so you can use it to cover up any gaps. So here we go. Here we go. You can actually see it a little bit better here. So this is the arm, this is torso, and then the main thing to look out for here is the spikes here. So you want to make sure this piece goes over this collar and not into it, otherwise you're not going to be deployed at all. It is a little bit pliable, and you can get it to around this range, maybe a little bit force it. Yeah, China Joy's ongoing. There should be more pictures coming out. I think we showed some existing stuff, some updates on existing stuff, and some new stuff as well. Yeah, but the great thing about it is that you can articulate him forward, and there's basically no hindrance at all. Let me just. So yeah, he can bring his arm up front like this. Yeah. No problem at all. Obviously, you can bring that piece back down to kind of cover it up. And of course, you can. It also serves as like a quasi butterfly. Yeah, it's kind of hard to show on stream. There's like a nice back and forth motion as well. Do the Devastator eyes glow in the dark? I think so. I don't think so. Yeah, I could be wrong. As far as I'm aware, they should not glow in the dark. Yeah, it's a very unique piece of engineering. I think the designers, every time I see something new from them, they've just absolutely outdone themselves. It's that's wonderful stuff. You and me both, on me. Like, I think this has been such a long time coming. It's wonderful to finally get this figure in hand. As a collector myself, I'm not disappointed. I think they really knocked it out of the park with this figure. And it's a testament, to the talent of these designers that they're able to do such wonderful stuff. All right, zooming out. We're talking about a distribution thing. We've got uh, it would be sales at nwatoy.com. That's our sales distribution email. For other collaboration stuff, you can just DM us, and then they'll give you the email for that instead. Yeah, it does feel like magic, and yeah, it would be cool. It would be cool to actually talk to the designers about. It's like, what if we did like a retool of this into Doomsday? And he was like, if we did do Doomsday, we'd do it from the ground up. Just because this is like, oh, so much of the sculpt is so it's so specific um to the Devastator that it would be a little. I'm not saying it's going to be a cop out, but we think we could do even better with the brand new sculpt or Doomsday, should we ever have a chance to do him in the line. Yeah, he's moving a little fast. There we go. Yeah, first time doing two figures on a stream. Honestly, it's a little overwhelming, but I think we've been able to cover everything so far. Yeah, the Terminator stuff. I think we showed the Tech Noir. I think there was even more stuff, but no plans for Judgment Day stuff at the moment. Our license is specifically for Terminator 1 on. Although I think T1 is very underrated, and we're already doing some really awesome stuff. That being said, Judgment Day, we'd also love to cover if given the opportunity. All right, so let's I don't know, let's do a pose with the blade, kryptonite blade data. We don't have any samples of these available at the moment, but upon release, you could try and message us, and we'll see if we can arrange something. And yeah, these figures, I agree. On these figures do look fantastic. What's the next figure on the Dark Knight's Metal line? I would say all of the remaining ones are pretty far off, honestly. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's we just have so much stuff pipeline, and we want to get like those sorted first before coming back around to Dark Knight's Metal. But yeah, that being said, we are planning on coming back to this, but we just want to get all the stuff that we've already shown, um, you know, on the way before. Any more Arkham figures planned? I mean, we've got the Deathstroke and the XE suit going on very nicely. Won't be long before those go out for pre-order. For that, there will still be more. There'll still be more stuff. Yeah, we're not done with the Arkham series by a long shot. There's plenty of possibilities. To say the least. What's going to be a bit of a wait, Jiru. I would say, do ask for your patience. Um, it's not going to be next month. It's probably not even going to be the month after. But hopefully within the year for Absolute Batman. Hopefully we get to do the Trinity as well. Alex Ross, not sure. I'm not sure. It would be cool. It would be cool to sorry to do that. No details on that at the moment in the call. Sorry, it's honestly that was my first time seeing the Bruce Lee as well. So yeah, it's kind of news to me as well. Um, well, for me, Omni it was very much just luck, kind of a friend of a friend type situation, and yeah, it's not some sort of secret society, fortunately, and just happened to have, I think, skill sets I guess they wanted, and the rest is history. I mean, I'm sure it's probably different for everyone though. Everyone's kind of got their own circumstances and their own story. Obviously, and hopefully, if that's something that you want to do, hopefully, you get a chance to do it, be it with us or even with other companies, because you know, having people who are passionate, um, help bring these figures to life is absolutely helps to have better figures. Was there an Arkham Origins Catwoman? I don't believe so, because I don't think Catwoman showed up in Arkham Origins. But if you are talking about an Arkham Catwoman, we haven't shown anything. Afro Samurai would be pretty cool to do. Um, all games are on the table, even Arkham Shadow. Um, we don't have the boys license, so we didn't tease anything. So we didn't tease anything boys related. So you may have being something else. Yeah, it might have been a different company. Yeah, I know, Desolve, but Arkham Shadow Suit is so underrated. When I was talking with the designer, I was like, I want to do Arkham Shadow, but we'll see if that one comes first. Could be nah, they'll probably do like, well, maybe they'll do Night first, and let's see. I missed something. Scooch. There we go. Elden Ring, yeah, Elden Ring would be cool as well. And yeah, Angry Hermit, I think that's exactly what we want to do, especially since we've gotten some very fair criticism. That we've taken a bit of time to get some of our releases out there. Yeah, because these guys have been shown. I think it was first shown in 2024, so it has been like a 2 year wait. Hopefully, the wait will decrease as we go. Shorter time between us showing the thing for for the first time, and it arriving in collectors' hands, because I mean, life's too short to be spent, just waiting for action figures at the end of the day, right? So, if we were to do Arkham Origins, man, would it be Big Boy Bane or Cold Jacket Bane? Oh, good God, that's a good question. I would say, is it too much to ask for both? Yeah. Mm, I will say that I'm more I would prefer Cool Jacket Bane. Yeah. I would prefer Cool Jacket Bane, but Big Boy Bane probably be a cooler, um, more of a showstopper of a figure. Mm, Berserk. Not at the moment. We don't have any plans for that. Would be cool to do, not, but no plans. You know how far the absolute Batman is? It's pretty far off. It's not. I don't think we have a finalized accessory list yet. We haven't done the translations for that yet. Usually, when we do a translation for something, then it's like in 2 or 3 months off. So hopefully, that gives a good frame of reference. Yeah, I think Neon Wolf. I think the thing with City, or just Arkham in general, is that we're trying to not do the same thing as everyone else. So if another company does it, it does make it less likely that we'll go and copy like what they're doing, because we just want to bring something unique to the table. Obviously, there are times when we do kind of have repeat in offerings, but that's usually because we show it first and then they come along and they also want to do it. So yeah, I mean we'll see. I think it would be great if we could do the Arkham roster. I would love to see. Would love to see a Talia, honestly. Talia and Nissa from the um you're asking for when I'm not quite sure what you mean by delivery, but these two figures are scheduled for Q3 and Q4. Devastator scheduled for Q3 and Dawnbreaker scheduled for Q4. Probably we probably have the license. I'm not 100% on okay, but yeah, I'm not 100%. Don't want to give you any false information. So we haven't really discussed it, and I think Blackgate mostly reuses models from the other games, so there aren't that many unique designs from it. So we are approaching the final 15 minutes of the stream. We're gonna start winding down a little bit. I really feel like time has flown by so quickly for this stream. Even though I feel like I'm probably gonna be sick like or the day after, but we'll see. Um, yeah, thanks everyone for stopping by. You guys have made this super special double feature stream all the more awesome. I have a time frame for the first look at new Dune figures. Unfortunately, I do not, Jiggy. Azrael from the Arkham games detail would be cool, but I think someone else showed an Arkham Azrael, so it's going to be less likely. Solomon Grundy, no plans at the moment, but would be cool to do. All right, so let's bring back these guys. I don't know. Think about this. So, no plans for Marvel stuff. Here. All right. We got a double feature on the double feature. So you got two characters and one base. Everyone holds tight and doesn't like wobble too much. Yes, this is a Green Lantern crossed with Batman. That's exactly what the Dawnbreaker is. Thanks for stopping by, Detolf. I hope you have a great day, and I hope I see you maybe tomorrow, maybe on the next stream. These are all super articulated action figures, Jiggy. You probably don't have enough time to go through the articulation again tonight, but or today. But we've got another stream, an encore tomorrow, and you can stop by then, and we'll showcase all of that. Absolute Wonder Woman is something that we are looking to do, hopefully, but nothing super concrete at the moment. It's still very much just an idea, but we would love to do her. And thanks for the kind words, Neon Wolf. Ooh, oh, there you go. Into the there. Get some distance between these guys. For a second there. More Arkham. Yeah, I mean, the rest, like Arkham stuff, it's very much all just ideas at the moment. Anything is possible though, so just I would say stay tuned. No Marvel plans at the moment, unfortunately. Do you have only the rights for Arkham Origins? No, we have every I think at least every mainline Arkham game. I know Knight is definitely something that we have at least. Um, uh, I do believe we have to check with Warner Brothers just to double confirm. There isn't anything that I'm aware that's like off limits. One reason or another. Not quite sure what you mean by that, Jiggy. Like specific like DC stuff or movies in general. Well, hmm. We're big fans of. Well, there's a lot of movie stuff that we'd love to do. I think we love Keanu. Well, he's not a movie, but Keanu Reeves. So maybe stuff that he's in, you'll see in the near future. DC wise, probably some Zack Snyder stuff, some comic stuff, some video game stuff. I think that those are some of the designs that people like the most. We're obviously going to finish out the Dark Knight trilogy stuff as well. Um, More video game stuff to come. We showed Valorant, and Valorant isn't the only thing that particular studio put out. So I would say other stuff is also coming. Yeah, no plans for a six scale main at the moment. Cyberpunk would be very very cool. All I can say is something that we have talked about. Clown Twins from Arkham City, probably not. I think that's pretty far down the list. Characters, unfortunately. I mean, I'd love to see them, but it's like, I, there are so many characters in Arkham City alone that I feel like we should do before doing them. Yeah, yeah, you should definitely pick up those figures, Jiggy. Those are fantastic figures, and you won't regret picking them up. Right. No plans for either of those, I believe, Tom Knott. Mr. Freeze would be pretty cool. I think just the effect pieces, like we have some freeze effects with the Ixie suit. I think we would absolutely knock it out of the park. We did Mr. Freeze. Omnibus, that's something that we've talked about doing. I think the Nightmare would be a pretty cool kind of. I mean, some have already been done, but some of those designs are pretty neat, and I think they do deserve to be in figure form. Halo would be pretty cool to do. Alfred. Yeah. Any more Supermans? Um. Yeah. Yeah. More Supermans to come. Yeah, Zendaya would be cool. I think. Rooted hair Zendaya figure would be fantastic. Momoa, if not in Dune, maybe Aquaman, that's equally possible. But yeah, Alfred looks. I mean, another company has done an Alfred, and I honestly think that Alfred is probably one of the best out there. Like, that's hard to beat. It was like $20 when it came out, like back in the day, like 2019 or something. So, you know, if you, it's I don't think we have plans for an Alfred, but if you really do want one, that one's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I think another Paul is probably fairly likely just because, I mean, it's Paul, right? So it's more likely than not we'll do him. Parademons would be cool. Yeah, an army builder would be pretty fantastic. But I guess we'll wait and see. Um, yeah, because not a lot of companies have done parademons. Well, it's my pleasure to be here. Thanks for supporting us, Angry Hermit, and your support means a lot. And very glad to be able to get some answers to you guys, and help answer some questions. Maybe drop some hints to the future. Hopefully, you'll see even more stuff that you like. And keep admiring from us, guys. Um, Thank you to Jiggy as well. That very sweet to hear. Horror stuff? Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to do it. We're actually doing some right now. Okay, so before I run out of time, I'm just gonna go over everything one more time. The details for these figures. You guys still continue dropping questions in the chat. Sorry. While I go over these details, and I'll go over the chat one last time. Um, before I sign off for the night. And if you guys think of anything, you come back tomorrow and ask then. Yeah, wouldn't that be neat to see you, Pennywise? I mean, we did show a new 6-scale Pennywise, so it is definitely on top of our minds. Anyways, this has been a live preview look at the INART Action Dark Knight's Metal Batman the Devastator and Batman the Dawnbreaker action figures. Currently available for pre-order at global.inart.studio. Devastator is 92, and for pre-order, Dawnbreaker is 86. Currently available in mainland China, Australia, New Zealand, Southeast Asia, Middle East, Africa, and Europe. Although for Dawnbreaker, I think you'll need to wait a little bit longer for some parts of Southeast Asia while we figure out some of the licensing stuff. Devastator is scheduled to ship in Q3. Dawnbreaker scheduled in Q4. The other two figures you see here, Red Death and Batman Who Laughs, are currently shipping. Do note that there is a non-refundable deposit of $22 for Dawnbreaker, $23 for Devastator. When you do place a pre-order, you pre-order in full. Not only do you get an early bird, that same early bird discount, but you also get priority in shipment. Right. So, let's see. Any video game figures you can tease? I mean, look, what studio did Valorant, and they also do other stuff, and I will just leave it at that. And so Sansato? Uh, yeah, probably not anytime soon. I mean, I just want to be honest and not get anyone's hopes up. Earliest would be this winter, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was a 2027 figure. Unfortunately, my Spanish is pretty awful, so yeah, sorry about that. Has the workload ramped up a lot? Absolutely, absolutely. It's it is what it is. At least I get more free figures and stuff, so it all works out in the end. Yeah, we need all the help we can get. But yeah, accessory wise, showed one last time. Stator comes with an interchangeable roaring faceplate. Comes with 5 hands. I lost track. Up there it is. Comes with 5 hands, so you've got palm hands right here, and 2 fists, 1 in the figure already. Hopefully you guys saw the open palm hands YouTube. Probably not. And then you've got the rock spike fist. And you get the nice diorama piece. And the kryptonite blade that's already on the figure. For Dawnbreaker, you get 2 interchangeable hands. These are kind of flat palm, salute hands. They should be available now, Art. If it doesn't show that Jeroen, you can try and send us an email. I think that might just be like a bug on the website. But yeah, Dawnbreaker also comes with a very, very dynamic set of stands, as well as 2 construct pieces for all sorts of display possibilities. And of course, he's got the fists that already come with the figure. Jiggy, it will be 22 hours from now is going to be the next stream. So basically the same time, but tomorrow. Is there a chance of a Doomsday figure in the future? Absolutely. So there is absolutely a possibility. And, we can take a lot of the lessons learned from this guy and apply it to Doomsday. All right, final minutes. Get your last questions in, or forever keep your silence for until tomorrow, because we'll be back tomorrow. And show off the articulation again for the people who missed it tomorrow, and the accessories and everything related to these guys. Try and answer as many questions as I can. Sure, I don't miss anything on talk side. Hopefully, I have not. And for the folks who have, shared suggestions and stuff, I'll be sure to, I'll try and pass these along, and hopefully we'll get, hopefully some of these suggestions become things that, up in the line in the future, because I think some of these have been pretty awesome suggestions. I think Nightfall in particular, it's just a legendary storyline that I think we should do. Yeah, we would love to finish up the lineup for Dark Knight's Metal. That includes Merciless and Drowned. He plans an absolute Wonder Woman. We've been talking about that. All right. Let's see. Let's scroll on. Yeah. All right. So I think that is about it. I hope you get your copy of these figures soon, Neon, because these are fantastic figures, and I think everyone who gets them in hand is gonna love them. Honestly, I think honestly these are the best offerings that we have had so far. Roughly, how many can you get on a year? That's a great question. Any possibilities of the Green Arrow? You're not the first person that has asked this question, and unfortunately, the answer to that is unlikely. I know it's sad to hear, because I would give anything for a Green Arrow and Black Canary, but it's not straight from the word of mouth of the designers. They think it's probably not likely that we'll do them. But yeah, so that is about it for today's stream. Wherever you are, hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for stopping by, and make sure you get your pre-orders in if you're interested, so that you can get your early bird discount. And yeah, You know, if you want to get them even quicker, be sure to pay in full so that you get priority in shipment. I think. Just making sure. Jiggy, you'll have to ask around the community because there's a lot of those going around, and even we don't have all of the most latest, like, up to date information. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. Be sure to enjoy your Friday or your weekend. Stay safe, stay hydrated, and everything, especially in this weather. And thank you all for your support. Thanks for stopping by, and see you guys in 22 hours, same place, and where we'll take another look. You know, if you have any questions that you've missed last time, you can ask them then and there. All right. So that's it for tonight. Take care, everyone.